So if you look at your business, your business is really divided into four areas, right? Your product development, your sales, and your distribution and your marketing, right? Which are all very different. All right. So if you start off, and your business is a square, and you say, okay, I'm going to explode this business. I want to double the size of my business, right? Well, I'm doing here and doing here, doing here, doing here. So I thought to myself after my first experience, wait a minute, what do I have to do first?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
So let's talk about this because all of us entrepreneurs, we have this gene inside us that we want to we can do it by ourselves and we can do it, but there is always this small push that you said, I'm gonna do it right now. That's it. I'm opening my first company. So where was this little last push? Like anything happening in your life, you get upset of the last job, something happening in your family. What triggered you to say that's it? I'm gonna run my own thing. I can work as a consultant for other companies. I can help out. I can do temporary thing, but I'm gonna run my first thing on my own. So what give you this little push? What happened?
Fear, just fear. I didn't, it's
You
funny in my
wanted all
entire
your
life.
life. You wanted all your life, but when you took the decision,
Oh, I was young. My first, I was 21.
wow.
I have to tell you that I was never afraid. How do I say this? I never had a hunger to succeed. I never wanted to be big. I never wanted to be. What motivated me was the fear of failure. I could not stand the thought of appearing to be a failure, either, not just in my father's eyes, my mother's eyes, but in our community and in my town, and where I just, because I was always a little different, right? We're just a little crazier than everybody, just a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
Our sense of humor is a little wilder.
But
We we
this is the
we
problem
think,
because entrepreneurship is actually failure until you develop
yes,
the skill. I always said, the to become an entrepreneur is not like is everybody can be an entrepreneur. It's like swimming or driving a car. The more you practice, the better you become. And for you to practice it, you have to fail and exactly same like you were young, your dad was an entrepreneur and you know that he's running a business, but you didn't know that he had to deal with payroll, he had to deal with this, he had to deal with accounts, he had to deal. At the moment that you started your first business, which is meaning by accident, you have a product, you sell it, somebody bought it, you make a little bit of money, you say, wow, you know what, I'm gonna do more of that, and then then you find out that you need to learn about marketing, about sales, about
wait a minute. You mean I can grow myself out of business? I can grow so well. I can do so good. I can go broke. Wait, this doesn't make sense to me, right? That's the big lesson, right?
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
that's the big. And the next big lesson coming to entrepreneurs is when you grow your business to the point where you say, "Oh my God, I cannot run this from my gut anymore. If I do this business intuitively, the business has grown to the point where it is counterintuitive. Now you have to rely on the numbers
Mhm.
and the transition from,
Mhm.
to
And how to grow and
is
how
a
to
very
grow
is
it
a very hard one. It's
and
very
how
hard for me.
and how to grow it. I remember before I we started to scale our we did a property company, we managed to sell over 5 million. And I remember I was thinking about scaling. And I'm like, well, Harry, this is a small mess. So if you scale this, what you're gonna scale is a huge mess. let, let me tie it up. let me organize everything first, because otherwise what I'm gonna scale is scaling is another ball game. You have to be careful with this, because it sounds easy, but can eat your life. In my first business, when we start to scale, we find out that we were working more, employing more people, and we were making the same money.
or less.
The
One
overhead
of my
was the overhead
even
was
less.
increased.
One of my businesses we did. It was a vertical marketing service organization, and we had some very good clients. And in the first year, we did about 10.2 million dollars across the top. Was very good. And I took home about 1,200,000 at the time I was living in Canada, was 202 million two Canadian dollars. And this is like, oh wow,
Amazing.
let's do more.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Sound like let's go for it with everything we got.
So we did more. We did so much more that we made about 560,000. I remember these numbers very clearly. I made less. I did more and did less. Why? Because we were doing more. We had made more mistakes. We were going too fast. We weren't watching our blah, 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 right?
Absolutely.
So scaling, you have to do, I like to compare, I try to tell my employees, that if you take let me, I'm going to do a little example here, just a minute. If I have to make a square here, just a moment. I like to compare it.
Take your time, because I've been there, done it, suffered it, have the pain. So this is everybody listen this broadcast. Pay attention, because what Howard is sharing with you is something that I have is priceless. And when you're there, you will be listening this podcast. You will say, "Well, why Harry left Howard to draw this and to give this attention?" And you will see that this can save a lot, because I've been there. Oh my God, that was tough. Was to the point frustrated. Like we end up working more. I end up working more, running a big operation with a lot of work, and we actually were making the same thing. It was crazy.
Yeah, twice the work and sometimes the same or less money. So if you look at your business, your business is really divided into four areas, right? Your product development, your sales, and your distribution and your marketing, right? Which are all very different. All right. So if you start off, and your business is a square, and you say, okay, I'm going to explode this business. I'm going to grow. I want to double the size of my business, right? Well, I'm doing here, doing here, doing here, doing here. So I thought to myself after my first experience, wait a minute, what do I have to do first? Well, first I have to find out that there is a product, the market is big enough for my product, right? So I have to do I have to do my marketing, right? Like, so now I've expanded my business only 25%. So I put some money in, but I can see where this marketing is going to be okay for me. All right. So next, I have to expand, if it's a physical product, my physical distribution. How am I going to get more from my suppliers? Where and how am I going to inventory it? What's the least expensive way to do that? But so I need to have my physical distribution all set up, right? And then I have to be able to go outside, take my sales and my market development people, and make sure that they are building enough demand before I order this product, right? That I have the demand. My sales guys, so now I'm 3/4 of the way there. And
Raise the
only
paper,
then,
Howard, so we can see it.
oh, sorry. Okay.
It's
Yeah,
looking
I'm
there
sorry.
very
Okay.
good.
Well, it's just a scrap paper. I was drawing doodles, but
We got
but
it. We
then
get
you
it.
now you expanded 3/4 of the way. Okay. And then the fourth is you actually make the investment because you have your finance, you have your marketing, you have your physical distribution and so on. And then you go into the market with your advertising or whatever it is. So now I've doubled my business, but I
Absolutely.
but I doubled it by taking the good things from the first, from the small business, and it gave me an opportunity to get rid of the bad. So instead of rushing, maybe I take 2 years to get where I want to go, or 3 years to go, but I get there in a very secure way. And
Absolutely.
this is
And this
usually
is
the
the way
second or
of doing
third
it.
business is like this. Yeah.
This is the way of doing it, Howard. I love this analogy. I have a client that he owns 300 supermarket in Turkey, and when he arrived, he talked about exponential business growth strategy. So when he arrived to Turkey, he was studying in London, and so the supermarkets belonged to his dad and I think 3 uncles. And when he arrived to Turkey, he went there and he said to the dad and the uncles, oh, you know what, I'm gonna grow these supermarkets, I'm gonna make them massive, and this is how I'm gonna do it, blah blah. And then the uncles and the dad said, well, you crazy, you know what I'm talking about. He almost got fired from their thing, but finally they put him. And because nobody believed in him, because he was very young coming from London, right? He started to work exactly in the same way that you open the paper. He said, okay, fine. My dad and my uncle want me to be a CEO of this thing. There were maybe 3 or 4 supermarkets. So he was 6 months and working the accounts. After he was 6 months and working marketing, 6 months working with the suppliers. So basically, yeah. So he does similar analogy that you, yeah. Now, obviously, they have 300 supermarkets, huge in Turkey, and they supply. You know, when you have supermarkets, supermarket have their own products, and they export
Your own
maybe
brand, yeah.
46 country. He sell toilet paper to China, so he might buy containers. So from Turkey, so. And he always talk about business growth strategy, and he does the same analogy. He always has, first time that he met me, he told me, okay, Harry, what is the volume if you have a cube and each side have 1 centimeter, what is the volume? And I'm saying, well, 1 cubic centimeter. He said, okay, fine. Now, how about 2? If this cube have rather than 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter in each side, how much is the volume? And I'm like, well, now the volume is not the same. Now it's not 1, it's 8. And he's telling me exactly what you just shared with me. He said, yeah, your business can grow exponentially if proportionally you see that this is a cube, and one side is the marketing, one side is the supply, one side is the accounts, one side this. If proportionally you can grow 1 centimeter, proportionally, this is the only way that you can do it.
And you do it securely.
Yeah.
And your suppliers have more confidence in you because they see that you are very judicious in how you approach, which means they don't mind to give you a little extra credit while you expand, and they see more of their product because they see on your coattails they will have opportunity and they will be your partners. And this, of course, is the next big evolution. And then it becomes exponential, and then all of a sudden, instead of being rich, now you are wealthy.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.